The Sony A7IV. Now, this camera came out in 2021, outpacing the A7 III. But this camera now is the next step if you're wanting to go deep into your content creation. Now, everyone knows Sony and its autofocus has been kind of the staple. Let me break this camera down specifically for you. The Sony A7 IV comes with a 33 megapixel sensor, which is the full frame sensor, so you're getting the benefits of that. Especially if you're doing content creation, its autofocus is top notch. Here you can shoot 4K. Media types are pretty simple. You get the CF Express Type A, but here you got 2 slots that you can also put SD cards in. So you see me here putting an SD card in. It actually is pretty easy to follow. Now with the Sony A7 IV, what I'll do is go ahead and throw on a 20 millimeter so you can kind of get a look and see what it looks like here. Okay, here I am testing out the Sony A7 IV with a 20 millimeter lens. Now, I've turned off all the stability, so you may see a little bit of shake here in the corners, around there, but I am at f1.8, so you got a lot of blur. The one thing about Sony is this amazing autofocus feature. This particular camera, it carries it in with the A7 IV. Looking forward to the new and the latest released on this camera. And it may be your vlogging substitute. Now, here's a photo of kind of all the accessories you probably want to put on this. And it may do exactly what you're using it for. Of course, this camera here gives you a lot of options, even with this lens, which this lens is a great buy too over here at Precision Cameras, so make sure you come and check it out. Yeah, I actually do see the autofocus moving really quickly, especially with this lens set at 1.8. So that's actually not bad at all. Good focus, even at that closer range and in the wider shots. So if you're doing real estate, or if you're doing kind of a vlogging, affiliate marketer, personal branding, and you're traveling, this will probably be the lens that you would want. Or get yourself a zoom lens. Either way, you'll be set with this one. So here I've actually turned on a little bit of the steady so that you might see any sort of in-body stabilization. This lens doesn't have a ton of it. I don't think it does. No, it's just got autofocus built into it. So we'll see how that looks, especially here on the edges, if there's any wobble. Again, I'm just doing it handheld. Probably your next best option is to get one of these, and then that'll kind of stabilize things a little bit more as you're doing your content. So we'll just check it out. Let's go up to the active mode in the stabilization, see how that works. So here's active mode. Let's check to see, and I feel like Sony has figured out the solution for the wobble. Now, let me walk a little bit. You can actually kind of see how I'm walking and moving, checking the corners here. Again, still at 1.8. I do have it set to auto ISO, so as I get closer to the light source, it gets a little bit blown. So let's go and test this now with the low light setting. Here is the old light switch. See how it does here. And again, not that bad. The low light settings for this camera obviously, adjust about as fast as the R5 Mark II, if not quicker. Turn it back on. There you go. Quick adjustments. Back to 100. Try it again. And on here, it's actually going up to 1250 ISO. So maybe 1600 is the best. Yeah, let's work our way through it here real quick. Okay, so what I'll see what I can do is kind of work our way through it. There's 100. It's an auto, I believe. No, that's 100, just 100 by itself. And I feel like it does let in more light on this camera than any of the other cameras at 100 ISO. Let's try adjusting it here. There's 100. Where's 200? Yeah, so there's 200. Not too bad. Then let's do 400. There's 400. Still pretty good. Still not so bad. Let's see, 800. There's 800 there. Some of the white balance is being kind of wonky, but it's still good. And then there's 1600, which a little bit more light as usual. And then go on up to, what is it, 3200? Wow, 3200 almost feels like the sun is in this room with me. It's not too bad. Then we can go on up to 6400, which gets a little brighter, gets a lot brighter. All right, And then from 16.4, it's 10,000. Whoa. And then we're at 12,800. And 16,000 is totally blown now. Yeah, okay, let's dial it back down. So honestly, 1600 may be the best for here, but I'm just checking for noise, seeing what we got in terms of the exposure. Okay, so there you go. It's me testing out some of the lighting scenarios, especially for the A7 IV. And here's some of the footage that I also got while I was inside of the store at Precision Camera of the Sony A7 IV, just running around. The Sony A7 IV is one of those really, really nice cameras that you can pick up. Thanks to the guys over at Precision Camera for always supplying the camera gear. You guys are great. Thank you so much for letting me test it out. You can obviously go over to Precision Camera and check out some of the listings. I'll put the information down there so you can go click on it and make up your selection right there in store. Also available is a great used section. No matter what you're getting, if it's from Sony and Nikon or Canon, even anything like your Panasonic Lumix, as well as DJI and GoPro. The Sony A7 IV, kind of a staple when it comes to content creation. Now, if you're making vlogs with this, it may be a little bit too much camera for you, but you're guaranteed to have a solid autofocus as well. Go check it out.